Point-and-click games. They're one of the genres of all time. Some people love them, others hate them. Every millennial and Gen X gamer has a memory of sitting in a wood-paneled room sometime in the 80s, 90s, or 2000s, desperately trying to make something happen in a game like King's Quest, Monkey Island, or the Goblin series, only to be soft-locked because we didn't grab the pocket lint in the first 39.3 seconds of the game, or maybe we just wasted the MacGuffin, because we're dumb. Now, what if I told you that the point-and-click genre is still alive and well today? Take a dive into the deep recesses of itch.io or Steam, and you'll come across plenty of games that have come out in recent years. Case in point, I want to talk to you about one of the best new point-and-click experiences I've had in a long time. Endacopia retains the wonder of exploration, storytelling, music, and puzzle solving while maintaining reasonable QOL for today's gaming audience. It's a delightfully absurd and surreal game, full of disturbing creatures like this bodybuilder with a baby's head, this weird blob that comes out of the toilet, or a box of matches that boxes in boxing matches. It's straight up hilarious at times, subverting your expectations with fourth wall breaks and random musical numbers. It's also absolutely terrifying, with this homage to the Animal Crossing village being stalked by a serial killer and full to the brim with otherworldly sightings and creepy phenomena. The puzzles, while plenty challenging, aren't too hard, and I was able to complete my playthrough with a little help in about 10 hours. It even has multiple endings, so stay a while and listen while I take you on a guided tour through a game that's absolutely worth your time. The game begins in a computer room with a clock, a calendar, and a few odds and ends on the wall. This is us. Our name is Mello. One of the first things you notice is that clicking on various objects around the game causes little animations, just like the putt-putt games from the 90s. The game is absolutely full of these, and while they don't do anything, it's an extremely charming touch, and I just had to call it out. The game wastes absolutely no time letting you know what kind of strangeness you're in for, as we notice the picture on the wall is pulsing. Beneath the picture is this face who says it's living behind our picture cause it's comfy. Through trial and error, we start to see the surreal lengths we have to go to advance in the game. A program in the computer called Doors allows us to materialize a door out of thin air so we can get into the hallway. Exploring the area, we find a plunger in the bathroom. Using it on the toilet, we get an early example of the way this game plays with your expectations. This guy never gives us his name directly, but offers to take us on an adventure if we can find a password first. That can't be bad, right? Stranger danger? What's that? Spinning the chair in the computer room allows us to open the vent through which we fall into the kitchen. This is Henry. For reasons, he keeps us here in a house that's more like a non-Euclidean labyrinth. He breaks the fourth wall asking us where Mello is. I chose to lie to him. We soon meet Tip, our friend who gives tips. He was stolen off his mother's lawn by Henry and now lives here with us. Tip gives good hints, but it depends on what screen you're on. You won't get any generalized where do I go next type of advice. Once we've gotten the password, we're confronted by our clock.
Your time is up.
This screen is the combat mode in Endacopia. The game has a large variety of opponents to fight, some mandatory but others optional, and appear as a result of experimentation with items, discovering Easter eggs, or exploration. The combat itself takes some getting used to, and most of the time it's pretty frickin' hard, man. Your opponent can attack you in 3 zones: left, right, and middle. Holding the right mouse button and moving the mouse will allow you to block a strike in one of these zones. Your task is to watch your opponent telegraph where they'll attack next, block that attack, and strike back when the opportunity presents itself, all while managing your stamina, which only refills when your guard is down. What I didn't realize is that you have a reticle here that you actually need to use to aim your punches, so it took me a while to figure out why I wasn't hitting anything. The other trouble comes from just how fast some enemies strike. The boxing match with the boxing matchbox took me absolutely forever, just because I couldn't keep up with how fast he gets. I think this mode could present some real, actual problems for people who physically can't move very fast because of age or what have you, and might represent a real downside to the game. Once we've given the password to the red guy, he throws us down through the plumbing of the house, but we hit a pipe on the way down, causing us to explode into severals of pieces. While we survive the fall, we're missing 3 critical body parts: our mouth, our eyes, and our hands. Without these, we can't observe anything, nor can we talk or open doors. To make things worse, most of the game is now open for us to explore, and we need to find our way and problem solve through a set of 3 large areas that we're free to approach in any order. There's an office building, a circus, and a village that's an homage to Animal Crossing. Our immediate mission is to find our body parts and from there to solve problems in the 3 zones, which eventually takes us home to the story's conclusion. We're gonna have to do some back and forth because the puzzles in Area A will need items from B and C and vice versa. Now, this is where the rubber hits the road in terms of point-and-click game difficulty. I was able to easily stumble through until now, but the next 2 hours or so of my playthrough consisted of painstakingly exploring and trying to find the missing body parts as well as what was going on in the game generally. What follows is my own personal experience of events, but it may be possible that you can do things in a different order. The mouth is found in the office building, which we can't completely explore at this time. In the basement, after a switch flipping puzzle, we get our first song. Not only was that an absolute banger, but it was also a clue. In this room, there's a computer with a bunch of buttons each corresponding to a word. Since we don't have our mouth and literally can't ask for help as the player, Tip backseats us into asking the machine to help us talk. Spell that out with the buttons and it cuts a new mouth right into our face. Well, that was disturbing. The hands are found in the circus, simply called Misery Town. This is where the game starts to get straight up creepy. The circus is full of traps and demented monsters trying to kill us. There's a mini-game involving playing Operation with a clown strung up on the wall, awake and everything. There's also a dunk tank, except it's a porta potty. Oh god. There's also this cat wizard that just straight up kills you if you try to talk to it. Well, thanks for punishing me for just trying to explore. You never lose real progress in this game due to a failure, but it does not auto-save, so don't quit the game without saving first. Go through the deadly train tunnel and hop into the fun house, and we're in a room full of invisible walls. We just have to stumble our way to the back of the room. Feel free to click absolutely every floor square. The last part is in the village called Timesville, and oh boy, this place is fucked up. The place is on a day-night cycle, and there's this creepy shadow that stalks at night. There's a serial killer on the loose, and legally distinct Isabel here doesn't have the time or the resources to deal with it. The dev really leaned into the creepypasta here. It's clearly a reference to horror parody games like Harvest Festival, but it's still really effective. Besides seeing some fucked up shit, there's still plenty of the game's staple insanity. Check out this weird room.
No.
If we wait until nighttime, a bridge appears leading to this lighthouse. Inside, we see the memories of the bear that used to live here, doing things you usually do, alone, in your house. Oh no. No! Well, that's what we get for being invisible in someone else's house. Maybe don't lean that far out on your balcony there, buddy. Oh no, looks like he got. But hey, if we follow this trail, a skeleton arm slaps our eyes right back into our face. So we've got that going for us, which is nice. At this point, I'd been wandering around talking to people and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on for about 3 or 4 hours now. So much so that I forgot what our original task was from the beginning. It turns out we have to start talking to the various people in the 3 zones and try to figure out their problems, solve whatever the major issue is in the area, and fight a boss to complete it. I return to the circus where the clown working the front ticket booth is sad and lonely. Luckily, this mime on the other side of the circus has a crush on him, but needs a gift to show she likes him. The gift is a cat plushie you get from the blue guy, who challenges you to insult him. We don't know what makes him tick, so we have to go to his brother in the porta potty dunk tank and beat his challenge. We need to throw 5 balls in a straight line, but we're missing one. It's lodged in the body of the Operation Clown. Get the scalpel first by solving this Whack-A-Clown puzzle. The clues are in the projector room to the right of the front ticket booth. Just make it match which clowns die in the videos and which get injured. This took me forever because I thought I needed to get a remote from the village that's glued to the floor in this room, but all you have to do is jump into the seat. Make sure you defeat the clown cowboy in a duel to get the skateboard. Besides just being funny to see Mello riding it, it helps you get around faster in a slow-paced game. Once the lovers have left their booths, fake an emergency to clear out the crowd going to the big top. Inside, we battle the trapezist, who apparently is a horrible sadist responsible for stringing up the Operation Clown. Pull on this cord and we get sent back home. But wait, we're not done with the other two areas. The red guy will send us back once we get him a map of the house. We do this by bringing this mannequin to life by drawing a face on it. We get a reference to draw the face from by navigating this creepy tunnel that was apparently in the other wall of our room the entire time. We return to the house a couple of times in the game, and each time we see things from a different angle. It's a really nice touch, and it highlights the house as a bizarre labyrinth. All this, and we're only up to chapter 2. But don't worry, it gets faster from here on, because each chapter ends once we clear one of the zones. The circus is no longer accessible, so our next stop is the village. Our goal here is to solve the murders, and the sequence of events to get to this point is pretty convoluted and challenging, so take notes, okay? At the secretary's direction, we start by making chit-chat with the villagers and asking them what we can do to help them. Cathu the cat and the raccoon here would like to see the aquarium filled with fish. We need a license to do so or this guy in the diving suit won't get out of the way. Playing 3 rounds of hide and seek with Cathu will make him give us his license. Fishing takes time, and the fish you get is random. Once you have at least 5 kinds of fish, the raccoon asks you to attend a party in his place. The bird thanks you for coming by giving you his telescope. Meanwhile, Bertha the bear has had her PGD stolen. That's her handheld console. This mouse is the guy who took it, but we can't accuse him without evidence. We'll need 2 things to secure the evidence. First, we glean from the walls on the turtle's jail cell that we have to go to this shack at this point in the night and use the telescope to look at the stars. We can connect the stars and make a constellation. Inside the shack is the metal detector. Mind the ghost on your way out. Next, we need a lockpick to get into the mouse's apartment. Comb the beach with the metal detector to find it, but be prepared for some serious insanity.
Hello, I need you to help me. Hello, please.
Alright, this would have straight up traumatized me as a kid, but as an adult, I'm loving it. We use the lockpick to find the secret compartment in the mouse's room, and then take a picture. With this knowledge, the mouse directs us back to the beach to find the PGD. Mind the giant enemy crab. Bertha gives us a black rose as a reward. We put this on a grave in the graveyard to get a VHS player. To find the tape that goes with it, we have to solve this puzzle where this surreal topsy-turvy shack directly mimics and influences what's in the room next door. Use the picture from inside this hole on the cliffside to see what the end result needs to look like. With the tape and the player in hand, we can go to this building here and watch the murderer, a giant chameleon, making videos with the bodies of his victims. To finally confront the chameleon, we need to get a door code from the in-between frames by pausing and seeking within the tape. Mind the jump scares. After beating the chameleon's puppets in hand-to-hand combat, it's time to head back to the house. This time, the red guy, presumably named Roger, wants a handsaw. Henry gives us a disk that lets us log into the computer under his name. There's a huge list of passwords here, but we only need one for the sawbox. Also included on the computer are a ton of Easter eggs, such as an extra battle, something called Cutie Collector. Is that a Pippa Pipkin reference? This dress-up game, and a mess of weird ironic comedy sketches and YouTube parodies. After a Rube Goldberg puzzle, we see there's a toy saw next to a real saw in the box. I don't know who wrote this note, but I decided to go along with it and I gave Roger the toy. This is almost certainly a decision point for which ending you get. The final zone is in the office building. It's basically a big piss take on corporations and office work. There's a bit less balls out craziness going on in this zone, but there's a creepy weird sub-story about the founder of the company who was covered in concrete in an accident and now just lives on the bench outside as a blob. Our goal is relatively simple, just to get into this door here by filling up the productivity meter by rallying our direct reports who aren't working for various reasons. This nearly manic lady can talk to us for ages, but her productivity is down because she doesn't have anything to look forward to. We can get her a vacation ticket as a motivator by winning this gambling minigame where you bet on what the dice roll will be. I didn't enjoy this part very much as you're just brute forcing it until you win. The other two coworkers are an anxious guy who needs a stress squeezy toy from the vending machine. The machine also contains an energy drink which helps the blue coworker pick up the pace. We get money to buy these things with gambling or with office work. Back in the office, activate the machine, step inside, and pull the cord to finish the area. The endgame is fairly straightforward. Roger's pissed at us for giving him a toy saw, stating he knew a way out of the house but now his plans are dashed. Navigating our way to this area, Tip tells us that he can't follow us anymore, and we give him a hug before the final confrontation with Henry. He's tough, but if you made it this far, you probably know what you're doing. Just hit the uvula by baiting Henry into smacking it with his mallet. And there, you've beaten the game. It turns out the house, the 3 zones, and everything else was inside this giant head. Henry inadvertently makes it barf everybody up, and the game ends on a heartwarming note as Mello and all of his new friends decide to fix up an abandoned house and create a community together. At least that's this ending. That's right, that was just one of 3 endings. The rest I haven't even seen, and can't wait to go back and check out. There's plenty of things I never mentioned and likely never even found. For example, there's this bizarre area under the office building where they mentioned some kind of experiment the company founder was working on. And there's this guy named Mr. Surgeon digging up a grave in the village who mentions that he can resurrect newly dead bodies. I suspect the last 2 endings are a bit less happy and have to do with these, but I'm really not sure. But hey, what kind of video would it be if I spoiled literally everything? Overall, the silliness, scares, action, and challenge made this one game I won't forget anytime soon. It's a game with a lot of heart, and I wholeheartedly recommend you check it out as soon as you can. Alright, that's it everybody. Thanks for watching. I love weird, strange, absurd, and surreal indie games, so if there's another game you think would fit in on the channel, can you let me know in the comments below? And if you want to hear about another unique point-and-click game that came out this year, check out this video over here. Alright, see you next time.